Here to talk about it is the president and CEO of Job Creators Network. Alfredo Ortiz has testified before legislative committees about the impact of bad government policy. He was, before he joined Job Creators Network, he was vice president of CSM Bakery Products Food Service Division, a $2 billion global food company. He's board member for the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, an advisory board member for Littler's Workplace Policy Institute. He's the president and CEO of the Job Creators Network. A real pleasure to welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show, Alfredo Ortiz. Now, Alfredo, after that kind of big build-up, you can't let us down. Don't disappoint us.
I'll try not to. Hello, Mike.
How you doing?
Very
I'm
good.
great. Good. Greetings from Miami as we're getting ready for the big GOP debate tomorrow night. So we got politics on our mind, and certainly this wonderful Bring Small Business Back campaign. I mean, this is so exciting. I want to talk a little bit about the basics. First of all, we know that businesses have been dying in the past few years. There's more businesses going out of business than are being started. That hasn't even happened since we started measuring such things. Alfredo, what's going on in the business climate in America right now?
Well, Mike, that's absolutely correct. And look, at the end of the day here, what we want at Job Creators Network is we don't want our small business owners to just survive, but to thrive. And that's the problem, is that they're not. They're just surviving. They're not thriving. And the reason is that they have overtaxation, overregulation as two of the leading causes of that's preventing them from thriving.
And, you know, the regulations strangle businesses, and the Republican candidates all seem to address this. It's and I know we're nonpartisan here with Job Creators Network, but I think over government regulation should be a nonpartisan issue, shouldn't it?
Mike, that's exactly correct, and that's the frustration, I think. You know, and the admission of the problem actually makes the lack of meaningful action to lift a lot of the regulatory burden and even tax burden even more frustrating. I think you remember in January, in fact, during the State of the Union, the President admitted there's red tape that needs to be cut, but nothing is being done about it, and policymakers just don't seem to address it, and frankly, not even our presidential candidates, both from a Democratic and Republican side, are addressing it, and I would like for that to be a point that gets addressed tomorrow. If I had my wish, I would love for that to be a question that gets addressed to them.
Right. Now the Bring, and I may ask him that because we're going to have a chance to talk to the candidates hopefully after the debate in the spin room as we're anchoring the radio coverage on stations all over the country. So I'm going to do my best, Alfredo. So, you know, the Bring Small Business Back campaign focuses on three key areas, and this is what we're going to focus on like a laser here on the Mike Gallagher Show: taxes, regulation, and capital. Tell me about those three components of the Bring Small Business Back campaign.
Right, absolutely, Mike, and actually it's plural. It's actually Bring Small Businesses Back, because we're hoping to bring at least more than one small business back.
Right.
So we say the Bring Small Businesses Back, and that's absolutely correct. It's three legs of this stool really that need to be addressed, and they really need to be addressed simultaneously. The first one is the overregulation. I think we've all seen that. Affordable Care Act has been one of the hardest hitting regulatory burdens that have hit our small business owners. And while there's been some very good consequences that have come from that, unfortunately, it's at great cost to many of our small business owners. That's one example. When you look at, for example, Dodd-Frank as a regulatory issue that has caused another unintended consequence, which is lack of access to credit. Right. A lot of folks that are growing their businesses need that access to credit. We've been talking to small business owners, Mike, across the country. There's an example for a daycare facility, for example, in Richmond, Virginia. A successful 2-year business owner, profitable company, can't get a loan to expand his business. And the reason why really is because of overregulation that unfortunately is being caused, for example, by the Dodd-Frank Act.
Sure. Now, there's an event coming up. There's two ways our listeners can get involved. Alfredo Ortiz is the president and CEO of Job Creators Network. We're launching the Bring Small Businesses Back campaign here on the Mike Gallagher Show, and it's so important. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business person who is controlling your own destiny, I want you to go to MikeForSmallBusiness.com. MikeForSmallBusiness.com. The membership with this terrific organization is absolutely free. You're going to get amazing content that's going to make you a better business owner, going to be good for your employees, good for you. Go to MikeForSmallBusiness.com, and on April the 7th, which happens to be my birthday, so I'm not, listen, this is the best birthday gift I could get, is to be able to host a Job Creators team event in Orlando, April the 7th, the Hilton Orlando in Altamont Springs. Frank Luntz, the great pollster, is going to be there. We're going to see him, I'm sure, tomorrow night in the CNN Salem Radio Network spin room. But there's going to be a terrific on-site event. Tell us a little bit, for people listening to us in the Orlando area, what that event is going to feature, Alfredo.
Mike, absolutely, and obviously we were going to have you there, which we appreciate your attendance, and Frank Luntz as well, great pollster, and really just understands what's going on as he crisscrosses and talks to people across the country, really bringing that insight. I'll be there, and we'll be talking about things that folks can do to try to address this, to try to help these issues, right? Like I said, these three main challenges are hurting our small business owners, and if there are small business owners, primarily 15, 20, 25 more employees or more, we urge them to attend this event. There's going to be some great information there, things that they can do to empower themselves to be able to help educate their employees on how government policies impact their pocketbooks and their paychecks on a daily basis. And that's really what it comes down to. We have to educate folks.
Education is key, and a smart business owner is a successful business owner. I'm thrilled to be a part of it. Again, mark it on your calendar. We're going to be giving you details on the specifics, but I can tell you, again, that it's at the Hilton Orlando in Altamont Springs, April the 7th. The doors open at 6. The event's going to begin at 6:30. And again, I urge you to go to MikeForSmallBusiness.com. Join Job Creators Network now, because again, this is a free membership. This is the way that you can take your business to the next level. This is the way you can become part of a network of people who are pushing back against these government regulations, the stranglehold that the government is having on the business community. So we're just thrilled, and we're going to be telling you all about Job Creators Network. You can follow this great group, by the way, on Twitter, at Job Creators USA. Right, Alfredo? At Job Creators USA?
That's correct. And one of the things that you can also have an opportunity to sign on with two different ways. JobCreatorsNetwork.com is one other one. And again, I think, Mike, at the end, what I want to make sure people understand is that this is about their business, right? Right now they're just surviving. We need our small business owners to not just survive, but to thrive. When we did a national poll, we found that only 1 out of 5 small business owners in this national poll intend to actually hire people this year. And when 2/3 of new job growth is in the hands of small business owners, this is a major issue and a major challenge, and we need to ask our candidates this question. And we need to understand what's happening and what their answers would be to this.
You bet, and we shall. It's the Bring Small Businesses Back campaign. Please go to MikeForSmallBusiness.com. The membership is free. And it could be the smartest move you make today. If you own a company, a business, a small, medium organization, doesn't matter. Go to MikeForSmallBusiness.com. You'll be glad you did. Alfredo Ortiz, President and CEO of Job Creators Network. I'll see you in Orlando, April the 7th.
I'll see you there, Mike. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us today here on the Mike Gallagher Show.